Well, North African countries have, over the years, become key departure points for migrants trying to reach Europe. Analysts say these countries have gradually turned into permanent host destinations rather than transit countries for sub-Saharan Africans. Tunisia alone has over 50,000 sub-Saharan African migrants, including more than 29,000 undocumented people. Adnan Shawashi reports.
Tunisian social scientists who have studied the phenomenon of regular and irregular migration flows in the Mediterranean basin in North Africa explained that the beginning of irregular migration to Europe started 30 years ago.
In order to understand the start of the migration flow from the sub-Saharan countries to the Arab Maghreb region, we need to go back to the 1990s. That's when Italy and Spain imposed the visa restrictions. This decision triggered the irregular migration phenomenon, which is known in the North African region as Harga, for the people who wanted to reach Europe.
The reasons for the surge in irregular migration have been influenced by an interplay of economic, social and security factors. Following dozens of shipwrecks and tragedies in the Mediterranean in recent years, as well as Italy's interception of migrant boats and return policy, tens of thousands of undocumented migrants chose to stay and live in North Africa.
The functions of northern African countries has changed over time. Tunisia, Algeria, Libya and Morocco became host countries, departure areas, but also transit zones in the Mediterranean. Migrants from sub-Saharan Africa who fail to make the journey to Europe usually stay temporarily in the region. They choose Tunisia to live and work because it's the safest compared to Algeria and Libya and the closest to the coasts of Europe.
Abdelhamid Largish is a professor emeritus of history at the University of Manouba in Tunis. The expert in migration says sub-Saharan migrants have always assimilated to the culture of the region and do not intend to edge out the indigenous North African population.
Claiming that migrants want to edge out this region's native populations is a chimera. It's just an illusion. Since prehistory, people from sub-Saharan Africa have always moved to the north. This was later called migration. This is proven scientifically because the genes of migrants from the south of this continent are an integral part of the genes of North Africans.
A few weeks ago, rights groups accused the Tunisian president of racism and hate speech after he vowed to crack down on irregular migration from sub-Saharan Africa. The head of state said the flow of irregular migrants was an organized scheme aimed at changing Tunisia's demographic wake-up. Qais Said also rejected accusations of racism and took urgent measures to protect and facilitate the residence of migrants from sub-Saharan Africa.
The Italian parliament voted last month in favor of a controversial project imposing restrictions on charity and civilian rescue operators in the Mediterranean. Migration experts say Italy's policy will push more undocumented migrants to settle temporarily or permanently in North Africa. Adnan Shawashi, CGTN, Tunis.